Hey everyone, welcome back to my Project 13. Two new Nexus devices, LG Nexus 5X, the Huawei Nexus P6. I ordered the P6, should be getting it within 3 to 5 weeks. I'm excited to bring it to you, let alone for me to mess around with it and let you know how I feel about it and do some reviews and do some comparisons. So, with that being said, I'm excited, doing some homework, reading some web pages on these devices and watching YouTube videos, a couple of those, and came across some interesting information as far as the customer, the consumer, who wants to know why these devices don't have optical image stabilization, no wireless charging. And for me, one of the things is no expandable memory. Now, I know that the Nexus lineup pretty much doesn't have expandable memory, but I think really for the LG Nexus 5X, 16 gigs isn't going to be a lot, especially with a 4K shooter. You're going to shoot a 20-minute, 25-minute video, have a couple games on there, some web pages stored away, some photos stored away, and with your stock apps in there, because it's basically stock Android, you pretty much have used up all your storage. So I think that, in my belief with this, is that they should not have 16 gig variants of devices if you're not going to have an SD card slot. If you have a 16 gig variant and you have an SD card slot, then that's fine. But if you're not going to include the expandable memory, at least start making variants standard with 32 gigs of internal storage. I think that should be standard if you're not going to include the ability to put an SD card into your device. I don't know what you think, but that's what I think. I think that's what they should start doing. I think for that price, on that 16 gig variant of the Nexus 5X from LG, should have at least started at 32 gigs internal storage, or at least stick an SD card on that device itself. Now, I'm fine with the P6 being at 32 gigs of internal storage and no SD card. I can utilize that. I can work with that. I've done it with my Nexus 6. I did it with my LG G Flex. I am fine with that. I love having the ability to have the choice to have expandable memory, and I know that a lot of times I don't even utilize that. You know, peace out to you, Oscar, because one thing you mentioned was, for the most part, we don't really utilize it. We really don't use it as much. We end up storing a lot of stuff on that card and we don't even use it. So, you know, I totally almost agree with that, even though for me, I just like having it there as an option. So I think from now on, if they're going to make 16 gig variants, include an SD card slot at least. If not, make these devices at least 32 gigs of internal storage. That's my belief. So let's move on to optical image stabilization. Now, Huawei is saying that on these cameras, they've put what they call a Sony 1.55 micron sensor, which then creates larger pixels for the picture, which then controls motion blur. Now, for some of you professionals that take a lot of photos, you avid photographers, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. But is that a great substitute for optical image stabilization? Sony 1.55 micron sensor. I don't know. We'll see. They also have some sort of optic blur based stabilization in their video shooters. So basically, when you're walking around, your hands are kind of shaky, it's supposed to control some of the shaking. We're going to see if this is all true. We're going to see that, hopefully, that they made a good choice in the substitute that they've picked over optical image stabilization. It does have laser auto detection, so both these devices have that. So, but we'll see if what they're saying is good enough for the consumer, good enough for the customer who are buying these devices. I don't know if those are deal breakers for you. For me, they're not deal breakers whatsoever. Wireless charging is not a deal breaker. I don't really use it. Maybe in the future I will. But for some of you, maybe that is. I don't know. What they're saying is, though, USB Type-C Fast Charge 2.0 is going to charge your device from 1% to 100% in 97 minutes. Basically, the same rate as the Motorola Moto X Pure Edition. Hour and a half, hour and 50 minutes, the Moto X is charged. I've done it. It's usually within that time. And what they're also saying is within the first 0 to 20, 25 minutes, that first stage of charging is going to be the fastest. So USB Type-C 2.0 fast charge is going to be sufficient. So if you're running down, the juice is running out, just plug it in for a few minutes and you're going to get it juiced right back up and nothing to worry about. These are not deal breakers for me as a consumer, as a customer. They may be for you. I don't know. Maybe you already knew that. You ordered it anyway because you got excited. And maybe once you get it in hand, you're going to go, oh my gosh, I wish I had wireless charging. Oh my gosh, I wish I had OIS. I wish it had expandable memory. I loaded a video up. I uploaded a video talking about a Kingston Digital Micro Duo flash drive. It's a little flash drive that you can attach to your Nexus devices, download an app and make it work. It'll give you extra memory. Okay, so you can load a bunch of stuff on that little device, plug it in, and there's two types. I like Kingston. There's one for regular USB ports, and there's one for USB Type-C. So 10 to 12 bucks. If you want more memory, you can buy this little device and it plugs in at the bottom. You can look at that video, and I left links for you to go and see if you wanted to purchase those little devices just in case you want more memory. So again, I don't know if these areas are deal breakers for you guys, but I wanted to relate them to you because this is what a lot of people are asking. Why don't you have OIS? Why don't you have wireless charging? And boy, I wish they would have had expandable, or at least the choice to have expandable memory and throw an SD card in the SD card slot. Not deal breakers for me, but I wanted you to know because maybe you haven't ordered a device and you're thinking, you know what? I love taking a lot of pictures. I love shooting a lot of video. And if it's not going to have that, I'm not going to be happy. I don't know what the heck a Sony 1.55 micron sensor is and creating larger pixels to create better pictures because it's not going to have motion blur. I don't know. I mean, I understand what they're saying, but you as the viewer may not understand all that. And all you know is that you work better with optical image stabilization. So you might decide to go get another device. I don't know. Last thing I want to talk about, cases. They are saying some of the cases that were aesthetically made for the P6 are not being made correct. The cutouts aren't perfect. That some of the cutouts are, especially with the laser auto detection on the device, is being covered up a little bit, so it's not allowing the camera to fully work like it should. If you're using that laser auto detection, man, if I can just spit all that out in one line. So basically, make sure that you order a case that's going to work by, and this is what you do. Contact the seller, send them some information like, hey, is this going to work? I heard that some cases are not working with the device, that they're blocking certain, that the cutouts aren't right. Aesthetically, they're just being made wrong. Is this case going to work for my device? Because if not, I do not want to order it. If they guarantee it, make sure that they're going to at least give you your money back or something else if it doesn't work. So that is a huge issue because you don't want a case that's going to cover an area like a flash or some of the camera area or the laser auto detection where that is. And on the P6, it's like right on the center below that top part of that camera. And if that's covered, that doesn't work, you know what? If you like taking a lot of pictures, you're not going to be happy not having the ability to have laser auto detection, right? So please do your homework on cases. Make sure that you're not getting one that wasn't aesthetically made correct for your device. That's all I'm trying to put across here. Thanks for watching. I went on way too long. I appreciate your time. As always, my Project 13. God bless. Peace out. Till the next vid.